Production Live, here with acting instructor, producer, actor KEVIN McCORKLE. What inspired you to get into the business?
You know, I had always dabbled in the business in college, but when I went through my college experience, I was trying to get into veterinary school. So I graduated with a degree in poultry science, of all things. And figuring out that veterinary school wasn't really in the cards, but sort of by choice and sort of by necessity, I sort of went back to my roots of performing and doing something that I really, really enjoyed, but never thought I could make a living at. And I was working as an extra on Six Pack with Kenny Rogers. Dan Petrie was the director in Atlanta, Georgia. And I got upgraded, and I got a line in the movie. And it just, you know, I know that there are lots of actors out there that understand when I say when the bug bites you, you just go. And that's sort of what happened with me.
Has it been everything you expected it to be?
You know, it has. It's been full of challenges. I've had some disappointments, but those disappointments were really kind of lessons to teach me, you know, how to avoid future disappointments. And I've been really blessed. I've been one of those actors that has an opportunity to work in all aspects of the industry. I've done commercials, I've done film and TV, I've done a lot of theater. I haven't done Broadway yet. I'm hoping for Broadway one of these days. But it's been really a great roller coaster ride to enjoy all the other aspects of this crazy career.
And you teach in the theater department at University of Southern California.
Yes, I teach an on-camera commercial technique class, but a big portion of the class is skewed toward career development because I think that's really, really important. And that's more where my teaching lies and coaching. You know, I do a little bit of the technique work in my classes and in my coaching, but I think it's really, really important to remember that business aspect of the art.
What are the three most important aspects of career development, if you could narrow it down at all?
Oh, I can certainly do that.
Okay.
And I'm so glad you asked. I'm so glad you asked because a lot of actors, you know, sort of, and artists sort of bypass this. I think the first is having a plan, having a well thought out strategy and plan, because without that, you're sort of relying on others. And in this age of great technology and really opportunity offered in so many different ways, it's really important to have a plan so that you stay focused and don't get too distracted and you have a strategy going forward. And I think the second thing would be relationships. I think building relationships, you know, the networking word doesn't do so much for me. I like to think about it more in terms of building relationships with people. And I got to say, over and over again in my career personally, and friends of mine that are successful that I know, that relationship factor has come into play. You know, the relationship that you make today and the way that you nurture and care for that relationship will reflect your work in the future. And I think the third thing is to just constantly be learning. You know, even though I teach, I feel like and it's so corny because it's like parents say, you know, remember what I'm telling you, and when you're a parent, you'll understand. And my teachers used to say, you know, you don't know the joy and the feeling that I get from teaching you because I learn from you. And I'm like, oh, yeah. But I think that that's true. And I've found that in my own experience. And I really, really enjoy teaching, and I enjoy seeing those light bulb moments happen for people when they discover something new. It's really wonderful.
What have you learned about yourself more specifically through teaching?
I think what I've learned about myself through teaching is the ability to allow my ego to not interfere with the process. I think it's really important to remain as ego-less as possible. And I don't mean, you know, anyone should become a doormat and get walked on, but I think that you know, opening up your mind to new ideas and new thoughts and new ways of doing things, especially now with all the change that's happening, is really, really important. So that's one of the things that I've learned. And I think the other thing that I've learned, and I've said it before, is the value of relationships. You know, I've learned how valuable nurturing relationships, being responsible with relationships, showing up when you say, and showing up sometimes when you're needed, and it's not necessarily something that is as rosy as you want. I think that's really, really valuable stuff. Yeah.
What are your goals for the future?
My goals for the future are one, to raise these two kids that I have to be great people. That's the number one goal, because I have a 6-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. The career goals are to really start creating my own content as much as possible. I think my wife and I started a production company called Freelance Productions, and we're hoping to keep that rolling and be able to produce content and write my own check. Not that I'm not going to be fielding calls from my agent and auditioning and out there, but I think there's a certain creative and economic power in being able to create your own content and make money doing it.
What's it like working with your wife?
I really enjoy it. She's an incredible producer, and she's developing a reality show right now about a guy who's buying a NASCAR team, and they've shot 8 NASCAR races, and they're creating the pilot, and hopefully it'll be out in the world, in the next several months. But I really enjoy working with her. We have a wonderful working relationship and a great partnership.
And where can we find out more information online?
If you go to myname.com, kevinmccorkle.com, I have a blog that I write, The Actor's Ramblings. And you can also check out Master Talent Teachers. It's a group that I'm involved with, started by Carolyn Berry, and Kimberly Jensen, Diane Christensen, and Holly Powell are sort of in the acting part of it. Jerry Katzman is comedy. Stephen Memel is the vocal guy, and Joe Tremaine, who's a renowned dance instructor, is dance. Those are all the local people, and then we have other theater people that are out. Lynn Stallings in Atlanta, Georgia, and Maurice LeMay, who is in Colorado. What we do on the site is every 4 days or so we put up, each one of us or our associates or affiliates put up a free video for people to kind of tune in and tune up and get knowledge, and I think it's just a great resource. And I've got 2 videos up there right now. One is the Actor's Blueprint, which I talked about earlier, and the second is about crafting your life around your art, creating a life that supports your art, because so many people, their lives kind of encroach upon what they're trying to do. And this is sort of an encouraging video showing points on how to do that. But it's a great site, and it's all sort of out of pocket with us, and kind of a volunteer thing. And of course, everybody promotes their classes and that kind of thing on it. But it's, I think, a wonderful resource for actors who are in Los Angeles, the bigger markets, or also actors in the smaller markets who don't really have access to some of the bigger name teachers. It's a nice little glimpse. So those are 2 great places.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin, and thank you for the Girl Guide cookies. I used to be a Girl Guide myself. Already started eating them. And best of luck with your upcoming project.
Can't stay away from those Thin Mints.
No.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all the work you're doing. I mean, I've seen a lot of your interviews and a lot of the work that you're doing, sort of exposing the entertainment world to a bigger audience. And I think you're really doing a great job with that. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for TTN HD Production Live. Woo.